everybody, my name is Sherry. Welcome to my stamp studio. So if you caught the video that posted prior to this, you know that my daughter is having our first grandchild. So I'm trying to get some videos ahead. So I have some stuff to post. And so one of the things that has been on my list for I don't know how long is to do some videos that answer common questions that I get that aren't necessarily stamping related. This one is a little bit more than the first one that I did though. The first one I did, if you missed it, I decided to break it in half. I was going to do them all together because all of this stuff is from Amazon. Number one question I get non-stamping related across all of my channels on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram is what color are those nails? And I don't often know the color, and I think a lot of you think that I get my nails done, but I don't. These are like $7, $8. They last 2 to 3 weeks. So go watch this video if you're interested in my nail secrets, and I'll tell you how to get the most out of them, some tips and tricks to using them, and I even pop one off and put one on to show you how easy it is. This is my favorite brand, the Color FX, and then this is my second favorite. I've never had one of these come off ever. These on occasion will come off, but I think part of it is due to your nail shape. I have very small nails. They can get really long, but I have very short fingers, very small nail beds. So these nails come in a size 0 through 11, and I wear the 2 for the thumb, and then 11, 10, 9, 8. So all of those other sizes don't even begin to fit on my fingers. So they're kind of custom made. So go watch that video if you're interested in that. Then the stuff I'm going to show you, often I get these questions all the time too. And part of my goal is when I get the questions, instead of being like, oh, I'll answer that tomorrow and then totally forgetting that people ask me, because I haven't had a concise place to send people. Now, if somebody says, where did you get that? I can send them back to this video and back to the coordinating website page. So if you go to my blog, there will be a page on the blog underneath this video. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, you'll have to go over to YouTube and get the link. But there, I'll have the links to Amazon. So let's start. We'll just start with these since they're here. So these are the packets that I keep my 12 by 12 paper in. These are 2 new packets. But what I love most about it is it protects your paper. You can kind of keep them separated so you know what papers you have. Obviously, you can see it through. But I should have got one that's already being used, because what I love is once you start cutting these down and you have smaller pieces, you know, piles can kill a stamper, right? We have so many piles of everything all around our desk. Even if your desk starts clean when you start, by the time you're done, everything's piled up. And sometimes our designer series paper, because we've cut it into different sizes, will end up in a different stack. I try to put them back in these packets. So once I start cutting this, I'll just slide it all back in here. And then because I resell all of my used stuff once it's retired, it's easy for me to pull it all out and slip it back into a plastic, and then know that I have all the pieces in there. So those are the 12 by 12 folders. I have a couple different sizes, and often when I pull these out when I'm doing something on a video, people are like, where did you get that? Then these are the next size down of what I use, and you can see these I use for a couple of different things. See, this one does have a full pack of 6 by 6, and then all of my little cutoffs. And unless you do classes, you're not likely to end up with as many little cut pieces. I wanted to show you this one because this is probably 1.5 packs of designer series paper that's in this one, so you can fit a lot. So I use them to put 6 by 6 paper, and then I also use them like storybook moments, all the little die cuts. As soon as I get those sheets, I pop them all out and I put them in one of these. It stays fairly flat, and then you can slide this with all the die cuts into that big folder with the 12 by 12 coordinating paper. So Stampin' Up! Has more and more of those combination packets right now where you get some 12 by 12 paper and then some coordinating die cuts. Keeps them all together, and it keeps it from the die cuts falling out and getting lost, because once you pop a couple of them out and that paper gets moved, they tend to fall out. So that's the medium size, and then this would be the most popular one that I'm not going to be able to reach it. These are passport holders, and I use them for embellishments. This would be all of the current embellishments. And so you can see I write on here what catalog they're in. So it might not matter to you if you're a demonstrator. It makes it a little bit easier when stuff retires. But it keeps them nice and protected. If you have animals like I do, and if you watch my videos, you know sometimes my cats hop up on the table. They don't hop up on the table in the kitchen, but because I'm in here by myself with just them all the time, I think they think, you know, this is just as much their place. They get on my computer desk, they get on my working desk, and then they get here on my filming desk. So my office is only 10 by 10. It's not big at all. So I just get these. Sometimes, like you can see this one, it'll just slide right in there. So I take it out of the cellophane, slide it. And if you do classes and you tend to cut these apart, just like the scrapbook paper, I just slide it back down in here. Some of these are too big. This is a new one. Aren't those pretty? That one's going to fit. Let me find some of them you have to trim. And so I just take the edges. Sometimes I trim them pretty severely. Like this one has been trimmed. I keep this in here so I know what they're called. And then I just slide it back in there. Some of the papers are just a tad too big. Like the purple sequins that we have right now for celebration, way too big. So you have to totally put those, like cut those in half and put them in here. But it saves them from getting dirty. It just, I find it an easier way to kind of flip through them too and see it. So there's that. Then let's put these back over here without dropping it. I'm not sure that this is charged. I pulled it over and I was going to make sure it was charged. This is my little desk vacuum. It's charged. I have grooves in these tables that we did on purpose. My husband cut them because I wanted it to look farmhouse. But you can see it's a little vacuum. But after we cut the farmhouse, I was like, yeah, I will forever have little grooves of paper in there. So this is just a little desk vacuum. When you turn it on, the little bristles kind of kick this stuff out. But it makes it easy when you're done for the day. It gets all those dimensional backs, and it sucks them all up in there. And then on occasion, you do have to empty it. And depending on how much you use your space, I'm trying to do it without spilling it. So you can see it's got lots of cat hair. And then I just made a bigger mess. Let me dump this in the trash. It comes with a little brush, so you can brush that out as well. Just pop it back in there. And it charges by a little cord that hooks into your computer, so it doesn't take batteries or anything. Suck that all back up. So I love this. I love it for the dimensional backs especially, because those things end up everywhere. So there's that. Then let's do, for everybody that likes my shimmer technique, I get my glycerin from Amazon. And then I got this, maybe a 24 pack of the little bottles. And even though I have a giant thing of glycerin, you don't want to put this much Wink of Stella in this, because you would have to dump several Wink of Stellas. I just like to keep it a little bit controlled in here. I have lots of shimmer videos. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go watch a playlist that I have with shimmer videos. I'll put the how to shimmer below this video as well. So glycerin and little bottles. Then let's do my favorite eraser. So this is it says for ink, sand eraser. I think it works well because I have this one too. But I tend to just use this one. This one does pencil really well, watercolor pencil. So for example, if you're in Try It class, grab a pencil. And you know, when we mark the lines, then this is a really, really good pencil eraser. And it just takes it right off, and it doesn't color the paper. It doesn't leave that tinge of stuff that you can see. You can see this is a scrap piece of paper. So this is a high polymer eraser, and it erases, it says high quality plastic eraser. They are very inexpensive. I have two of them. I think it comes in a 2-pack, and I keep one on each of my stamping areas. Then this one, it says for ink, and that is, well, you can see here. You know, sometimes if you get ink over the top of your stamp, this just takes it off. A couple of tips: don't do more than you need to. See, there was a W, and it will eventually be gone. Don't do it when your ink is wet, because then it just will smear it everywhere. So it kind of roughs up the paper a tad bit, but it definitely, that W is practically gone if you keep going. The other thing that it does is if you have adhesive and like you've rolled it through and then it is out the side, or it's not where you wanted to put something after all, it erases this. So it kind of makes it gummy at first. See that big gummy thing? And then you just kind of collect it all back. Just like that. And then there's nothing left of your adhesive that you got in the wrong spot. And when it does this, like the paper's not really roughed up, it kind of makes the paper disappear over here just a little bit. But I'd rather have paper be a little bit fuzzy in a spot than a giant thing that you stamped in the wrong spot. So those are my favorite erasers. And then the last thing, this is really, I guess there would be a reason if you are not a demonstrator, but a lot of you who see me do my introduction to classes have asked where I got the bag. So again, I have 4 sizes of the bags. They all come from Amazon. There's the small, the medium, medium small, and then the medium and the large. So these tiny ones here, they are 3 by 4, and I use them when you do a class and you only have embellishments. And I have some tips and tricks on how I get all of my, this would be for a try it where everybody gets projects that use all of the new things. And so that is all of, that looks like it's annual catalog from this year. It's funny how you can recognize them. So that is 3 by 4. So, and then that's folded over so you can see they're a little bit larger. That's the 3 by 4. Then this is what I use for ribbons. In some of my classes, if I have, this is July 22nd, December, Holiday Catalog 2022 ribbon. So for this one, I don't know what size it is. I'll put it down in the, you know, how Amazon keeps all of your past orders, so I'll have the link for it. But if you're in a smaller class and we don't have so many embellishments, sometimes I put both the ribbons and the embellishments in these packs. I was on the lookout when I first started doing online classes for something that's the least expensive but high quality, because some of these bags can cost, like a mailing bag can be $1. So you have $1 for that. You have 4 bags in there that are, even if they're 25 cents, then you're up to $2 and you haven't even mailed it. So I am really pleased with these bags. So once I found them, you can see I buy them. Like this is in a 1,000 pack. So you could easily share it with another demonstrator, a friend, or eventually you just use them up. I think this is my 3rd packet of these that I've gotten, and I'm on a new packet of those little ones too. And I didn't buy the tiny ones at first because it wasn't until I started doing try it classes, but those have been going maybe 5 years. So in that there was 1,000. This is a 6 by 9 and there's 1,000. That would be this size, I think. And this holds a half a sheet of cardstock. So when I do my VIP classes or VIP videos, which are starting again in April, and with those you follow along in a private video with me, and I send you the stuff so you can recreate the project along with me. I'm going to change the name so it won't be VIP video anymore, but that was what I always used these for. So they've been on a little bit of a sabbatical, but they're coming back, so be watching for that. And then the largest size are these here, and this is what I put, like if my club is 6 by 6 paper, it goes in here. All of my try it classes, most of my, like I just did Storybook Moments, that class, all of the supplies are in here. This is club from December. It's my December card club. And so when I do card club, I get a packet as well, but I've already made the cards once. We make 2 of each project in my card club. So I tend to stick all of my stuff back in here. Then I can either recreate them or I can like pull it back out because I'll know what colors were in the club that way. But it's sometimes I stick the finished cards in here as well. And for the people that are in my classes, I always put the name, like this was the Storybook Moments, and then that way you can keep all of your supplies in a big bag until you're finished with it. I also have a Munbian printer. It's how I print all of my labels with Pirate Ship. It's super inexpensive and it is so easy to use the Munbian, and you just download a spreadsheet and it goes from there. And then you can get smaller size stickers. These are on my catalogs and then all my classes, and I just go in and I change the name of the class and the date, and then they just print out. Super inexpensive, far less expensive than any kind of Avery label. So that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. But you know, I could be, if you're watching this around the time the video posted, I'm probably enjoying my grandson somewhere. But I'll get back to you. And so do go down underneath the video if you're on YouTube, and you'll find the links to all of it there. Have a great one. Bye.